Skate 3, a game made by EA Black Box that released in 2010 and one that has truly stood the test of time. Players look back on it with nothing but love. Skaters adore it, and so do gamers. I think I speak for many of us when I say we spent countless hours online with friends, messing around, doing speed glitches, and competing for high scores. A game which is so simple, but so fun to play with friends. But beneath all of that, there's one thing that's kept the community divided from the very beginning. A playstyle loved by many, but hated by many more, that it changed how people remember this game entirely. This is the story of Tricklining, the most controversial playstyle in Skate 3. So what exactly is Tricklining? At its core, Tricklining is simple. It's a revert, a flip, and a transfer. But over time, it's evolved far beyond that. The name itself comes from trickshotting in Call of Duty, and when you compare the two, the similarities are pretty obvious. Both are pushing the game in ways developers never intended, finding creativity in broken mechanics, and making it look good while doing it. To casual players though, Tricklining looks like nothing more than button mashing, trick spamming, skillless nonsense. But to those who dedicate themselves to it, it's an art form. Back in the early days of Skate 3, one team quickly rose to the top and changed everything. Rise Skating. In 2011 and 2012, Rise Skating was the FaZe clan of Skate 3. Their montages featured the best trickliners in the game, hitting lines no one had ever seen before. The kind of clips that made you want to turn your Xbox on immediately and try to hit something just like it. If you played Skate 3 at the time, your dream was to be in Rise. Looking at these clips today, it's funny to think this is what was considered the best of the best, but like previously mentioned, like all things, it's evolved. People like Skater, as the OGs know him, Skater O, or as he now goes by, Handstand Drew, Nobsy, also known as the Duck Voice, X7 Wicked, Ricecraft, Rusher, Ano, Rainy, Sorable, Dizzy, and yes, I still get asked if I'm him to this day or if I'm trying to impersonate him. No, bro, it's just a coincidence. And of course, love him or hate him, X7 Albert. These are just some of the notable names from back in the day that I can think of off the top of my head and that some of you guys may or not remember. I wish we were able to track the exact timelines of things, but you know, unfortunately, someone sold the Rise Skating channel. Well, I wonder who did that. Skater specifically in those early days was just ahead of the curve with Tricklining. No one was doing it like him. He created the no comply flip, which is still done in like every single line today, and just everybody wanted to play like Skater. In 2013, Rise even held their first fan meetup in LA, which looking at it now doesn't seem that crazy, but you gotta remember this is back in the day when YouTubers meeting up was not that common. So for this to be happening in the skate community, it felt kind of crazy. The community felt very much alive, strong, but that wouldn't last forever. Rise eventually would fall apart, and teams in general just started to fade. A few groups like Gear, Oasis, and Vibe Skating carried the torch, but it was just never the same. The game got older, the community got smaller, and people weren't fighting to join teams anymore. They were simply just making content for fun and keeping the game alive in their own way. The same thing that made Tricklining exciting also made it hated. Casual players would go online, hit quick match, only to be queued into a lobby on Megapark, filled with kids spamming dark catches and doing tail walks, racking up high scores, while their own clean lines barely broke 10,000 points. To many, Tricklining felt cheap, repetitive, disconnected from what made skating fun in the first place. And it got so bad to the point to where if you joined a lobby and started Tricklining, you'd often be kicked by the host within seconds. Before we go on with the video, I do want to clear something up. What you guys are seeing in the background right now is not Tricklining. This is competitive. The two are very different. Competitive focuses strictly on getting the highest scores possible, and this is what is often known as the trick spam that many people associate Tricklining with. While yes, you are doing a lot of tricks in Tricklining, competitive is strictly just doing the same couple of tricks which give you the highest points and trying to get the highest score in the game. Tricklining, on the other hand, is all about style and making your line look as smooth and clean as possible. So just because you see a dark catch or a tail walk doesn't mean that one is the other. They're similar, but they are not. They're very different at the same time. If you're interested in competitive or you want to know more about that playstyle, I recommend you guys go watch Calplex's video on the history of competitive. I'll leave it down in the description if you guys want to check it out. Very good video, highly recommend. But believe me, there's a lot of depth and skill that goes into hitting a proper trickline clip. It can take hours just to hit a single 30-second to 1 minute long clip. You need to master every trick in the game, know the map inside and out, understand where you can transfer, where you can flip, be able to maintain speed without pushing, avoid repeating tricks, be able to time your tricks and speed glitches, and of course, obviously, not bail. The standards for Tricklining are insane, and they've only gotten crazier and crazier each year. Like, you might think, okay, well, obviously it's a 15-year-old game, but within like the last 2-3 years specifically, like first there was the Krail pop and the seatbelt pop, which I was able to get down, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then I started seeing clips of people hitting the Nate pop, which I didn't know what it was, and I looked into how to do that, and I still can't really do it. Like, the timing for that is so tight, and I just like, I need to learn it. Like, I really do. But going for one mid-line can just make or break the entire clip. But I think they look so clean. Like, people who complain about them, I think it's just because you can't do them, because like I think they're dope. Even way back then, anywhere you look, comment sections were just full of arguments, full of people saying that Trickliners were ruining the game, or they were just annoyed at them because they didn't like the way that they played. Anywhere you look, even today, to this day, people are still arguing on the same topic. But we have to be honest with ourselves. Without Tricklining, who knows if we'd even be getting a new skate game. And I know that's probably just triggered a bunch of people and it's about to start a bunch of arguments in the comment section. But it's true. In my opinion, I think it's true. No bias aside, because the community has been here from the very start. It's still active all these years later, and it's kept skate alive long after its prime. Argue with me all you want, but like that's just truly something that I do believe, and that's not to discredit any other play styles, whether it's the realistic players, the hippie flippers, the needle gappers, which have become very popular over the last few years, or even competitive players. Competitive players have gone a long way in the last few years as well. They all played a part, but at the end of the day, I think tricklining was the thing that kept Skate 3 relevant for so long. Like I said, you go into any lobby, someone's doing it. Love it or hate it, tricklining defined Skate 3's online scene for many years. It created legends, pushed the game's boundaries, and inspired some insane creativity. But it also killed variety, drove people away from casual lobbies, and gave Skate 3 a reputation for being less of a skateboarding sim and more of an arcade, unrealistic, glitchy mess. And with the release of Skate 4, or the new Skate game on the horizon, it'll be interesting to see how people will trickline on that game, because as of the playtest and everything that we've seen so far, it doesn't look quite like we really can the same way you could in Skate 3. But again, Skate 3, people weren't supposed to do it, and they found a way. So hopefully there'll be some way for trickliners to be able to play the game as well. If not, then it is what it is. We'll be back on Skate 3 until the day they shut off the servers. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys sticking around until the end of the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. And maybe, just maybe, I was able to show some of you who hate tricklining what it looks like from a trickliner's perspective. Maybe you respect it a little bit more now, or maybe you hate it even more now. Who knows? I don't know. But at the end of the day, though, that's not what this video is all about. I just want people to respect each other and how they choose to play the game. You can play it your way, I can play it my way, and there's no harm in that. We can coexist. That's that simple. I've gotten into so many arguments like in the comment section of my last video about this. It's that simple. You play how you want to play, I play how I want to play. But yeah, guys, that's all I've got for this one. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Skate 4, or the new Skate game. I'm excited. I'm waiting for it. Peace.